This is the story of Zane and Cooper and their journey on trying to find what happened to the dead fish. On a hot summer day in Mammoth Lakes, California, Zane and Cooper were on their way to their favorite fishing spot. When they arrived, little did they know that all the fish in the lake were dead. After 3 hours of fishing, they had no bites and no fish, and they were just confused on what was happening. After leaving the lake after 3 hours of fishing, Zane and Cooper came upon a sign that said, "No fish because of unsustainability." They were shocked by the news, because just last week, when they came to this fishing spot, they had caught 10 fish. Zane had no idea what that meant, and so after a long day of fishing, he went home and looked up what it meant. After doing his research, Zane found out that sustainability meant the use of a renewable resource faster than it can be replenished is unstable. If we continue to harvest the same number of fish from the ocean, we would reach sustainability, not anymore, or it would be unsustainable. Zane also found out that there are two main types of sustainability. One, sustainability of resources, such as species of fish from the ocean, a kind of tree from a forest, coal from mines. A second type of sustainability is the sustainability of an ecosystem. Sustainability developed must be evolutionary, be attractive to people, be productive, and assist the disadvantaged. Sustainable growth is an oxymoron, because any steady growth produces large numbers in modest periods of time. At the moment, however, he did not know what was happening to the fishes at the lake, and he had to get to the bottom of this. After talking to several people about the fishing problem, he found out that too many fishermen were taking fishes and not letting them free after catching them, like they should. In order to keep the fish safe, Zane knew that he had to take action. Zane knew he had to be proactive, not reactive, meaning we must plan for change and for events such as human population problems, resource shortages, and natural hazards, rather than waiting for them to surprise us and then reacting. This may sometimes require us to apply the precautionary principle, which we discussed with the science and values. So the first thing that Zane did to be proactive, not reactive, was to put signs all over the fishing grounds saying, "Save the fishes." In order to be even more proactive, Zane sent a bill to save the fishes to the city's mayor. Zane still had to spread the word, so he thought of this great idea. To make a difference, Zane knew that he couldn't do it by himself. He had to be inclusive, not exclusive, meaning all people on Earth must be included. This means bringing all people to a higher standard of living in a sustainable way that will not compromise our environment. So the next day, he proclaimed his big idea and called a local news station saying how he's going to stay outside Mammoth Lakes 24/7 till they make a difference, and he's inviting anyone to come and join him. The next day, Zane was shocked to see what happened. There were at least 50 different tents set up all over the lake just to support the fishes, and he was so happy about this. Still, after 4 days of camping, there had been nothing done, and so Zane knew they had to take action. He had to think of a plan that was evolutionary rather than revolutionary. Developing a sustainable future requires an evolution in our values that involves our lifestyle as well as social, economic, and environmental justice. And so Zane came up with a plan to save the fishes. Zane's plan was pretty simple. It was that any fish that are caught must be returned to the lake and cannot be brought home. Zane also knew that his plan must attract people, not attack people. People must be attracted to the new paradigm because it is right and just. Those who speak for our environment should not take a hostile stand, but should attract people to the path of sustainability through sound scientific argument and appropriate values. Zane thought the best way to attract people was involving children, because children are the future of the world, and anything they do now can help later. After doing his research, he went to City Council to proclaim his idea. His idea of letting the fish that are caught being released was loved by everyone in City Council, and so they agreed that it should be passed. Another part of Zane's plan was assisting the disadvantaged, not taking advantage. This involves issues of environmental justice. All people have the right to live and work in a safe, clean environment. Working people around the globe need to receive a living wage, wages sufficient to support their families. Exploration of workers to reduce the cost of manufacturing goods or growing food diminishes us all. This would happen by having volunteers watch over the lake and to ensure that any fishermen do not steal any fish from the lake. And guess what? Zane was the first one to volunteer for this job. The final thing the lake had accomplished was sustainable yield. Sustainable yield is the highest rate of a renewable resource can be used without reducing its availability. An indication that we are living unsustainable is shrinking forests, soil degradation, global warming, and desertification. The root causes of unsustainability is the include wasteful use of resources, poverty, rapid population growth, and widespread recycling programs. And thanks to Zane's brilliant idea, sustainable yield was accomplished. Within months, the lake was back to itself. Always crowded, always happy people screaming and yelling, and most of all, the lake was back to being populated with the fishes.